Yeah, I don't think she's staying inside. It's way too much to ask for. Having obtained the curse of the haunted clappers, Harue Shikima is determined to use the Red Resurrection by stealing the remaining curse stones. She instructs her PI Richter to find the other curse bearers. It wouldn't be a story if she just stayed inside and stayed hidden all this time. It's almost an hour since Richter left. He'd promised he called me if anything happened, but he hasn't. All I could do is wait and wait. So we just wait. No, it's dangerous to go out. I can't just sit here and let this opportunity pass me by. I have to look for Michio Saraishi. But first I need to find more soldier eggs. Oh. Did I put a record on? No, it's too late for that. I'm not in the mood for music anyway. The flowers put me at ease, just a little. That old hanging scroll. I see it too often to feel anything from it now. Newspaper. Rotary phone. I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. The fax machine. I rarely find a use for it. I don't know anyone else who owns one. I'll look at the newspaper later, that's new. There's nothing on at this hour. I see no point turning it on. And look, Paranormasight. Green doors, green doors. Stickers already done. Ceiling, chandelier. My husband used to complain when it was too dark, but I rather like the gloom. Newspaper? Must have fallen off the chair. Don't read it. Oh, I guess like if you... No, but you have a cancel. I guess don't read it if you want to look around more. It's a newspaper. I only leave them here for the guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Television sounds convincing just because, you know, the whole theme of the game is television. I don't really watch much television. Feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But father stopped them from reporting the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss. Keep reading. Why is that not checked off? Education. Everyone attends high school now, even girls. Universal education policy, they call it. Country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. Education is the backbone of modern society. If you want to work for a good company, then you have to get into a good university. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities has gone fierce enough. The new generation is rebelling. Schoolyard violence and delinquency are on the rise. But my boy was too sensible to get mixed up in any of that. I don't want to read anymore. It'll only remind me of him. Oh, okay. More television. Now the comedy boom is over, the comedians are flocking to other genres. The occult seems really popular at the moment. Let's look at these paranormal specials. Come on, we said look at the paranormal... Oh, never mind. Culture. Not that everyone is spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. Seems like only yesterday that people are flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. Now we have those enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Color televisions? Yeah, I guess actually. Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. I hate that nothing's changed. Time's a weird circle. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music was all the rage. So now it's all about city pop and idols. I find it hard to care about that sort of thing anymore. Why am I extra sassy today, actually? I'm just talkative. And to think of it, I never offered him any tea. Not that I ever learned how to make it. I hear the new big thing is some mascot line of delinquent birds. Mockingbirds, I think it's called. Is that what Richter was talking about? Trends seem to have such short shelf lives now, with how quickly the times are changing. I think I'm just too old to keep up anymore. It's young people who are leading the way with their modern views. My generation will only fall further behind. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom is past its peak, we're moving into an era of large corporations. It's about 200 to 230 yen to the dollar. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar is down from its height and people are saying it could fall further. No denying how much the standard of living has improved in the past few years. It's common to own a car and television now, and supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Although with everyone flocking to the city, land prices are skyrocketing. Nowadays, most people can only dream of home ownership. The city center going to be nothing but apartments before long. I'm not exactly a businesswoman, so this all feels like another world to me. Keep going. Looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to be even more polluted. A river covered in scum from all the sewage and industrial waste, and it sank so badly it made my eyes water, stag. Eventually, people started getting sick and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then. Although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. Keep going. It's one thing Honjo never wants for, it's horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in the local park the other day. A lot of my family are in the police. I hope it wasn't anybody I knew. Somebody we know. If that's what they're leading us to think. I don't read the news anymore, not since last year. It brings back bad memories. I need to distract myself somehow. I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. Hey, reading the news. More news? More news. Suicide at local high school? Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off a roof about a week ago. She was bullied, I think, or maybe it was something about exam pressure. What? But no, this can't be right. Her name. Ichio Saraishi from Komagata High? Can't be. Ooh. Ichio Saraishi, the same girl who witnessed my son's kidnapping, committed suicide last week? But that means Mr. Jonouchi was terrified of someone who already died? Is that what he meant by a curse? Can't work this out on my own, maybe Richter will know. Why won't he call? Oh, I haven't left it off the hook, have I? Oh. Oh, no. Ah. That must be him. Tempting. Hello, Shijima residence. Oh, the bridge. There are two bridges, I believe. Richter called me out to meet him, and we came here to come look at a bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. Funny, I was thinking the same thing. Gazing down at the water. What does he see down there, I wonder? Sumida River. Sumida River. The water is filthy and horrid, but at night, when it's still, it almost looks peaceful. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home? I couldn't say. All I could tell you is that I could hardly stand the sight of it. Right, shoulda guessed. This is where they found him after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water. All I could think, how scared he must have been, how cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then, and I prayed to the river to give him back. To give back my son. Day after day after day. In olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world would meet the next. So the act of crossing flowing water has had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chuo saw the Sumida River the same way. They associated that the far side of the river with the afterlife. The same place would later become Honjo. And their fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Meireki, and after that, Honjo was part of the city too. And as it turned from farmland into a town, the people surrounded it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways. Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told. They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain the corruption that had built up on the far shore, and stop it leaking through our side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one too. So, if I have this right, are you saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife? Exactly. That's why the Red Resurrection is here rather than anywhere else, I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the 7 mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess I'd make this spot we're staying right now, over the water, the border between life and death. If there ever was a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny you mentioned praying to the river. That might have done more than you think. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Just thinking aloud, ma'am. Well, it's a nice thought. Files updated. Sumida River. Ooh, very gorgeous. Love that. I haven't mentioned the artwork yet in this game. I'll talk about that more because I enjoy it. A Class A river that is part of the Arakawa River system, which runs through much of eastern Tokyo and empties into Tokyo Bay. During the Edo period, Sumida's riverbank played a key role in the transportation of lumber used for construction. In addition to its logistical importance, there's also a place for the common folk to gather and enjoy activities such as seasonal flower viewing or river bathing, and there may exist woodwork prints depicting such activities. The area became plagued with sewage issues when the surrounding environs were industrialized in the post-war period. But the situation has improved since. Many unique bridges span the Sumida River, including the Ryogoku and the Azumabashi bridges, which attract a large number of visitors as sightseeing spots. Massive firework displays in the summer are also always sure to draw a crowd. The river has served as a cornerstone for both the city and its people, having both aided in its development and serving as an inspiring backdrop of countless works of art and literature. Mount Sumida? Oh, that's right. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you? Go ahead. Must have about been 20 years ago when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Sumida River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy, and it stank. You could look over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. And one day, among the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand. What? It's almost a miracle when you start to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that although everything but the palm had rotted away in the water, that part was left would have had an identifiable scar, and that they would tell it had been a murder from the blade marks on the bone. Wait, you talking about the Najima murders? Aha. Oh, you've heard of it. I'm impressed. I assume you were an elementary schooler at the time? I wasn't really aware of it then. I only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. There's a few questions I have here. I'll save them. Okay, I'll do it now. Whoa! The man who had made headlines over 2 years ago as the perpetrator of the brutal killings known as the Najima murders. Wait, that's the same... Just checking. That's the same one as, Najima murders... Nope, nothing there. Hang on. Najima murders. Taurus case, murder... Wait, murder of a female high school student? Wait, a river... Wait a minute. A female high school student? Oh, the perpetrator. Never mind. I'm just bad. Alright, Najima murders. Anyways, what I was gonna say. The fact that she knew that a hand had been murdered and that a hand had been her own classmate. Two alarm bells there. How does she know what a murdered hand looks, or a professionally severed hand looks like? And how'd you get so close to said hand? Well, I guess the second one isn't too much of a mystery, but... Her hand is identifiable, which is interesting. Never mind. I'm all over the place today. To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. Wave of chaos just parting around me. Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotten and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill. A sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny. Everyone figures the river's filthy already, so one more piece of garbage won't hurt. But every little bit makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around down there myself. That's right. which is why the riverbed is the last place anyone would go looking. Or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. Times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. They made easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, we chopped the body up into tiny pieces and threw it in the river. It would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again. How are you saying what I think you're saying? I arrested him shortly after, Fumichika Nejima. The man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it, but it couldn't have been his first crime. And people began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murders in the end. But the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? The same thought spread through everyone's mind and they start to avoid this area. So really, the river has been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting? Well, I could see why you don't have any good memories of this river. But with that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Nejima murders. But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand. Wait, what? Didn't you... Never mind. The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Nejima to justice. That was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me. Aw. I guess it just wasn't the killer's day. Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it. Sumida River. I have nothing but awful memories of it. We're on Komagata Bridge over the Sumida River. There's a highway on one side and a freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night. Komagata Bridge, when the bridge is spanning the Sumida River, completed in 1927 as part of the reconstruction effort following the Great Kanto earthquake, is notable for both its distinctive blue arches and the cutting edge for the time techniques used in its construction. There are many bridges stretching across the Sumida River, each boasting a unique structural form and design. Ooh, wow. Anything else? Nobody around. Aha! Mockingbird number 18. Oh, no, no, okay, these are just images, so I won't mind. But it is a flamingo. In a uniform. Sure. Surroundings, 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 surroundings. Nothing behind you, Richter? Can't tell, you're too big. He's gonna tell us about his findings. I'm gonna tell. You go first. This hunt seems deadly. Please, go ahead. Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to the 7 mysteries looking for curse bearers. I think I found a few candidates. First, a tall man I ran into Kinishibori Park. I asked him for directions, trying to probe him a little, but he turned the questions right back around on me. He was out there the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he's a curse bearer. And there's this middle-aged guy I saw around South Watagasui Street. There's no question about this one, he had one of the curse stones in his hand. He had a nervous air about him too. It was clear he was up to some shady business. Gathering soul dregs, I bet. He'd make a good target. Next up is a pair, a young man and woman I saw around the Ryogoku Bridge. This time, the man came up to me and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around there often. Some kind looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. That didn't seem like they're quite working as a pair. Gathering soul drugs in a group might be a decent idea, if you could make it work. But with things being how they are, it's gotta be hard to find folks someone could trust. They've got brass though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. The last is two detectives I've seen sniffing around. The police are involved? Not necessarily. A body turned up in a local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the 7 mysteries. Might be it was the curse that did the guy in. No comment about June. And they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's gotta be up. How do you know where they're from? Let's just say when you're in the business, there are some faces you get to know. Anyway, that's everyone who's caught my eye. You found all of them in so little time. I really did hire the best. It's all in the name, ma'am. Richter Kai, P.I. Ooh, that swings so well. No, wait. Make that Richter Kai Investigator Extraordinaire. No. The other one, please. I an Investigator Extraordinaire. Is that why you dress like that without drawing attention? You can't dress like that without drawing attention to yourself? You bet. An Investigator Extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Oh, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young couple sound the most promising, am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. Seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others we don't know about. I say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come. Keep going. Something I need to tell you. What's up? Well, that girl, Ichio Saraishi. The one who was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping? That's her. Well, she's dead. She's what? The student who committed suicide last week. It was her. I heard something like that had happened. Never got the name though. Talk about bad luck. You finally get a lead, only to find out it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless her death was the whole reason Jonouchi was so shaken up. He said she was going to curse him. Is he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave? Seems we're back where we started. No, not necessarily. That teacher knows something, I'm sure of it. At the very least, I'd put money on him having something to do with Miss Saraishi's death. That's why he's so scared of being cursed by her. I see. And also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping. In any case, I think I've got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch. A hunch? Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? Sure, I could guess. I'd say for certain, but... well, that doesn't tell me much. Chikanouchi? Or Michiyo Saraishi? Wait, hang on, go back. Silence. Wait, with blackmail. Well, with murder. Well, I mean, with a curse, with the threat of a curse. Murder is technically under threat of curse. What if Michio Saraishi silenced Mr. Jonouchi with a curse? Oh, what do you think? Oh wait, that was me. Didn't mention he was scared of that, but it doesn't tell us anything new. Oh, that might be a little far for— oh, come on. I see, I'm sorry I disappointed you. I'm not really cut to play detective. Well, no point dwelling in speculation. The truth will out in time. Right now, I think we need another chat with Mr. Jonouchi. Something wrong? Not really. It just struck me. It's been 20 years since the Najima murders. Oh, it has. Not spooky or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing. Huh? Life in prison doesn't always mean life. There's precedent for first-time offenders being allowed out on parole after 20 years. If they found to show remorse and the desire to reform themselves, of course. That's right. I'm impressed you know so much. Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to reintegrate into society. I hear they've been trying to fix that recently, matching inmates with jobs and accommodation. Oh, really? They keep an eye on him, of course, and make them report in for regular checkups. But to avoid discrimination, they keep the inmates' records a secret from everyone but their employers. They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities so they won't be recognized in the workplace. The way you put it. Like you're saying Fumichika Najima could be out on parole right now. Back in society under a new name, with nobody any the wiser. It's possible. As it happens, a little birdie told me about a big name making parole a few months back. I don't know if that was Najima, but our discussion just now did bring it to mind. I see. How unsettling. Now that you mentioned it, I just remembered something too. What was it? I was passing Kawagata High School a little while ago when I saw someone. Janitor, I think. And I could have sworn he reminded me of Fumichika Najima. Him? Oh? It's a little different after 20 years. Much thinner than I remembered too. I told myself I was just seeing things. But perhaps it was him after all. So, what next? Big question now is what the rest of the curse bears are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from many of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other curse bears will come all the way here. Could finally have a moment to think. I see. Alright. Excuse me.